Skaven Tide is coming, and what better way to celebrate a new edition launch box than with some Grimdark Stormcast. Before I start, I just want to say that the new box is fantastic. The Stormcast models in it are some of my favourite sculpts that Games Workshop have ever done. There is the slight issue of them being push fit, but other than that, I absolutely love these models. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite model from the new box. So onto the recipe. As always, I prime the models in black, and then we're going to start off with a coat of AK Extreme Metal Gold. This is a lacquer paint, so you need to use that Extreme Metal thinner / cleaner after using these paints through the airbrush, as regular old airbrush cleaner will not work on them. Once that's dried, which is usually really quick, we're going to paint any other metal areas with Games Workshop Lead Belcher straight from the pot. Any cloaks or leather, we're going to give a coat of AK Tenebrous Grey, which is like this really dark brownish purplish grey colour. It's really nice. And any weapon handles, we're going to paint with AK Dirty Red. It's quite a bright red, but something that's really important with painting in the Grimdark style is that a lot of the techniques will dull and darken the colours, so we want to start with quite a bright and vibrant tone, otherwise it'll be too dull after we add the grime, which is what we're on to now, the fun part, grime. I'm using AK Streaking Grime for interiors, which is quite the mouthful. I'm spraying this straight from the bottle through the airbrush. One thing I like to do before airbrushing this is to put some white spirits through the airbrush first. This helps to lubricate the internals and stop any grime getting stuck in there and building up. And something that I get asked a lot, no, I haven't varnished this model. You can varnish it if you like, but unless you're using transfers, you absolutely don't have to. Just be gentle when it comes to the next stage, which is reducing the grime. To reduce the grime, we take a cotton bud that has been dipped in white spirits and we roll it across the model. Super easy and simple. And this reduction lets the colours underneath show through while still retaining some of that lovely grimy feel. And once we're done with the wet cotton bud, we're going to use a dry one to mop up any of the excess still sitting on the surface of the model. The grime reduction is a cornerstone of the Grimdark style and a great tool to use. One issue with it though is that we lose a lot of the definition in the model, so to bring that back we're going to start blacklining the model. Now you could spend all day individual blacklining every recess, but a faster and grimier way to do this is with a black enamel wash. So we're going to use a brush and apply the wash to any recesses, and this will really quickly turn that model back to HD again. If we go a little heavy with the black, we can use a cotton bud to clean it up a bit, and ideally you want the wash to be a watery consistency so that it flows better. If it's a bit thick, you can mix them in a little dish with some white spirits and that'll do the trick. With that done, we're going to add some verdigris to the armour with some Ghost Grey Abteilung oil. Add a little to the mixing dish and put some white spirits in there. I like to mix just a little bit off to the side of the main blob so we get that wash consistency again. And when we've got that, we're going to apply it around any rivets or recesses that we really want that verdigris to show up in. Again, you can always clean this up if you go too hard with it with the cotton buds. That's pretty much the armour done. It's up to you how you want to base up models, but that would be the next step. Make sure to add any mud from the base to the hems of the cloak and include some on the boots of the model to really tie it into its environment. For the flames, it's a super simple technique. We'll start off by painting all the areas that we want to be flaming in white, and then we're going to give it a coat with AK Luminous Orange. You can use a brush to do this, I just find it faster through the airbrush, and from there we're going to start dry brushing. The next colour we're using is AK Fluorescent Orange, which is slightly darker than the Luminous Orange, and this trend is going to continue as we work through the colours here. Dry brushing is a perfect tool for painting flames because we can very easily hit gradually less and less of the core of the flames with lighter dry brushing, and flames are generally very bright in their core and darker towards the edges. I'm using Artis Opus dry brushes with their texture palette and dampening pad. I highly recommend checking out their channel for the best dry brushing on the planet. Byron there is one of the best teachers around and an all-round amazing person. Definitely check them out. One last thing to make the flames really pop is we're going to use some light touches of the orange fluorescent enamel pigment from AK in the core of the flames. You really don't need much of this to make the flames really pop. Less is definitely more. And there we have it. A lovely grimy Grimdark Stormcast. What do you think? Thanks for watching everyone. Bye!